pending. So just go ahead and make a variable called result and set it equal to MySQL underscore query. Now is the query, let me set everything up. What we want to do is select, and it really doesn't matter what we select, but I'm just going to go ahead and select item number because we really only are worried about how many rows this query returns. So we can really return any piece of data. It doesn't really matter. Same number of rows, whatever. From items available where owner ID is equal to, and that is where user is. So if I was user 11, it would say where owner ID is equal to 11, which would give me all of my items available. Now it returns all of my items available, but I don't want the items that are available for trading yet. I only want the items that are pending review. So now we add that clause, and the status of the item equals pending. So again, in your items available table, you can have several different items with different statuses. One of them can be, trade completed. One of them could be pending review. One of them could be active when it's, ready to trade and people can offer it. But now I only want to return pending, so that's why I'm doing that. So now, what is the goal of this function? Well, what we want to do is return a number that can basically go right after this. So of course, if I had one item pending, then I would want to return the number 1 between parentheses. If I had 0 items pending, for example, I have 0 active items right now, so we don't want to return anything. So keep that in mind. We don't want to return a 0 in between parentheses. We don't want to return anything at all. So the only time we want to return these parentheses is if you have a number greater than 0. Remember that. So we'll write that in an if statement. If MySQL, in order to get the number of rows, put num rows, and well, you guys are going to see what's going on in a second. So what it's going to do is it's going to get, did I copy that? The number of rows that this result returns. Now, if it's equal to 0, then that means you have no items pending. So we don't want it to say anything else. However, for this function to be complete, it needs to return something. So what we are going to do is we're going to return a string either way. In this case, just go ahead and return an empty string like that. So then your function, says, okay, I returned something, so I'm not going to give you an error message, but it returns nothing, so that's what it's going to display. Else, now hopefully, I don't know, I don't want to say hopefully, but if we have some items pending, such as 3 items, what we want to do is we want to return those 2 parentheses with the number 3 in between it. So go ahead and write return, except in this case, go ahead and write double quotation marks. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to return those parentheses. So go ahead and put an opening parenthesis right here and the closing parenthesis right here. Now in between these 2 parentheses, we want to append a string, aka the number. So of course, whenever you're joining things in strings in PHP, use the little dots, which pretty much means, of course, like I just said, append to a string. Now, what do we want to append? Well, we want to append the number of rows it returned. Oh, look how convenient this is right here. We already got that baby right there. So return however many number of rows right there. Now, of course, this can't be 0 because if it was 0, it would have returned nothing. So the only time you're returning a number in between parentheses is if you have a number 1 or greater. So this is basically the same exact code that we're going to use to calculate active items, completed trades. So for example, if we wanted to calculate active items, we would say, okay, select item number from items available where owner ID equals user and status equals active. So that's how easy it is to pretty much calculate the statistics for anything. Just go ahead and write the table name right here in your criteria after your where clause. And again, like I said, go ahead and save this. And even though I'm not going to walk you guys through the rest of the functions, that's basically how you do it. So I'm going to give you guys like 10 other functions. If you guys don't understand, then just leave me a comment in the forum. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.